Katie, this is the most body positive movie of all time.
Amen.
Woo!
Yes, it's so real. What is he says the line where he's like, "'Cause I like to eat," or something. And I was like, yeah.
I like to eat. Is that such a crime? And he goes, once I get up on stage, start doing my thing, people worship me because I'm sexy and chubby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
I was like, amen.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hi there.
Let's rock today.
Wow.
Yeah, this is one of those movies that you get energy from watching, yeah.
All I kept thinking about was how tired Jack Black must have been.
Mm-hmm.
His energy level was insane.
Yep.
Every minute of the movie.
I mean, I don't think he was doing much acting. I think he was just kind of being himself.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if I've ever thought about my relationship with do I love Jack Black or not?
Oh.
But this converted me. I'm like, done.
Hallelujah.
Love him. In the love column.
Well, let me introduce ourselves.
Let's do it.
So you all can know who the biggest Jack Black fans are this week. It's us. And we are... The Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And you're not hardcore! She's in hardcore! But the legend of the Rent was way hardcore!
So I did think of you with your cymbals and thought you would show up today with them.
Well, I have a pair sitting like 5 feet away from me, but they're loud, so they're just gonna stay where they are. But you can all pretend and imagine me playing them.
I saw Freddie.
Oh, I know. He was rocking them.
And I was like, that's Katie. That's what Katie does.
Me. And what's our movie this week, Bridge?
School of Rock.
The School of Rock! Yeah. I don't know if this is true, but I just want to believe that Jack Black went to someone and was like, hey, let's make a movie. I'm going to improv the whole time, and then you guys can just do other stuff around me. And they were like, yes. And that's what I think this movie is.
You're close. But it was Mike White.
Oh my god, what a name.
Who was Dewey, who wrote this.
Oh, I didn't know he wrote it. That's interesting.
And I believe he thought of Jack Black with it.
I mean...
How perfect.
It's literally his magnum opus.
Oh my
God.
Both
Jack Black and Mike White. Kudos, Mike White. Have you done anything else? I don't know. Who are you?
Oh, he's done a lot.
Oh, okay.
He's a big writer, but like acting, I don't think he's as... I mean, he's been in some movies, but I think I read that he like did something on Dawson's Creek.
Oh. All roads lead to Dawson's Creek on here. He did a good job playing like a mousy boyfriend.
Oh.
It's a unique role to play.
My God. Okay, wait, who's doing the synopsis?
Doesn't matter to me. I can do it, you can do it.
Well, I copied the one line from I think this was Netflix, that summed up the movie. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Jack Black lies his way into a substitute teaching job where he soon leads his talented young? That seems weird. Talented youth, maybe? Charges into a battle of the band. I don't think I copied it all down right.
Wait, Bridget, what? I get the gist.
Okay, all right. Let me try a better synopsis.
Okay. Yes, do a synopsis.
A body-positive rock star, unappreciated by society, specifically Hollywood, is in a band that no one likes him in the band. He lives, breathes, and has ultimate passion for rock music.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he doesn't look like what others expect him to look. And he gets kicked out for the male model. I mean, come on.
Okay.
So he is mooching off of his friend, Mike White, who has the most hilarious Sarah Silverman uptight girlfriend who I've never seen her play this type of role, which cracked me up.
It's just so unlikable. I'm like, no, Sarah, I like you.
So many turtlenecks.
Oh, yeah.
So many turtlenecks. And basically, she's like, listen, he never pays rent. Just kick Jack Black out. And he starts to realize after his band kicks him out because he's kind of a little off-brand, if you will, for them. And he's down at the dumps. And so his roommate, Mike White, is a substitute teacher, gets a call to teach. And Jack Black says, screw it, I'll do it.
Jack Black says, money, please.
Money, please. And he lies his way into this job, and it's hysterical because he, uses gel to slick his hair back, and it cracked me up so hard with his little bow tie.
Oh my god, and the scarf.
So cute.
I was sold on the scarf. I was like, it's not even cold out and you're wearing a scarf and it's a great day. So thank you.
And the thing about this school is it's like a prestigious school.
Yeah.
And so he gets there, teaches them nothing, and the kids are like, what's happening? And he hears them go off to music class and learns they're extremely talented musicians. And so then he spends the entire time there getting them ready for Battle of the Bands because he's decided to start a band with his class.
Yep.
And they're all super talented.
Yes.
The music is incredible. And obviously, as you can imagine, the parents find out, the principal finds out. It's not good on the school front, but boy, do they put on a rockin' show.
I mean, I feel like, then the parents are kind of like, this is great. But yes.
At the end.
At the very end. Right.
The parents did not like his line. I've touched your kids, and I'm pretty sure they've touched me too.
Yeah, and honestly, I just feel like you really think all of them are going to jump to the inappropriate conclusion. I was kind of like, guys, come on, that's a saying.
I laughed so hard.
Take a chill pill.
So the music is so fun. You see a lot of him get the beat going, and then you just kind of you're right about the improv. He just kind of improvs.
Honestly, it just felt like it was a lot of improvisation. It was so funny, and I feel like some of the kids, I feel like when they were laughing, it was very genuine.
Yeah.
They weren't acting. They didn't have to act because he was just being so silly. And
so
it was
silly.
Great. There's so many good lines in this movie too.
He's such a physical person too. He's not just hey class. He's literally whipping his head around and doing, I don't know, a guitar kick at the same time. And you're like, holy God, I'm tired.
Yeah, he is pretty wild and I love it. And this wasn't a super long movie either, which is always nice. So it's always a fun surprise.
Yeah.
But I do, I first saw this movie, I might have seen it in theaters, and I was probably 12 or 11, so I was early middle school age, and
2003.
Yeah, so I was 12, and so I was all into that rock band stuff. I played the drum set, and I really was I'm gonna be in the sequel. I'm gonna be the token girl drummer, because that's a stereotype, which is stupid, but even now that kind of is a thing.
Yeah.
But then there wasn't a sequel, so...
I looked up that they were thinking about a sequel for a really long time, but it just never came to be. It was just, they were gonna do it, it never happened, the story wasn't perfect, and to be honest, the story is so good, where do you... I don't know, but...
It shouldn't ever get a sequel, because it would be something stupid where it's oh, the kids are grown up, or they would just, replace all the children with other children, and you're I don't want to see the same story. Why? It's fine as it is. Don't touch it. But it was made into a Broadway musical, and I had friends who've seen it, and they said it was really good.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
We should go see the musical. Is it still running?
No.
Oh.
But one day we'll, and then we can do that. So we'll
Andrew
into that.
Lloyd Webber did the musical for this.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so we can go maybe, I don't know, I feel like we could go through like beginning to end and probably hit most of the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do love the opening and not, I mean, the concert is fun, but even just the credits, how they did it, where it's like, oh, we're walking through the entrance to a music venue and someone's wearing a cool jacket. And it's just like all the credits are like snuck in there. It's so fun.
I loved it. It got you excited right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, I had my own little Jack Black moment in my life when he tried to crowd surf and no one caught him.
Oh my God, Bridget.
And he fell to the ground. That might have happened to me at a concert.
You dove off the stage? What? Which concert was this? I need to know.
It was, okay, first of all, it wasn't as cool as a rock concert. It was an OAR concert.
Okay, because I was going to say, I'm like, wait. What
probably in 2003. So me and Jack
Lord.
Black probably were both on the floor. And
Oh my God.
I went with Liz. And her brother was like, I don't know, everybody was like going crazy in the crowd. And her brother's like, let's go, Bridge. And he literally took my leg. And I was like, screw it. And he threw me up.
Yeah.
And so I was crowd surfing. People started like throwing me to the top, like to the front of the stage. And then I don't know what happened, but like I hit a patch and I just like ate it and fell to the ground. And I mean, I was like, I don't know, 17 or something. So I was fine, but I was like, Jack Black, I understand, but I wish I had his confidence back then because I would have just jumped up and then had the crowd be like, woo! Instead I like cried in the corner and ran away.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I've ever been dropped crowd surfing. I've crowd surfed a lot back in my day.
Oh, I love it, Kate.
Listen, children, if there's any youths out there,
Youths?
when times open up and you can go to concerts again, y'all better watch your shoes because some of those crazies are going to try to steal your shoes as you're crowd surfing along. So
that's true.
Watch out. Tie your laces. Okay, that's my PSA.
That's true. Or people are going to be playing on their phones, so you got to make sure that you're like, you're ready to land.
You
Tuck and roll.
You kick the wrong person in the head and you're screwed. But yeah, nobody caught him. That was not cool. He first of all, his amp wasn't working, and then his band was annoyed when it started working. I don't understand. His amp, isn't he a part of the band? I'm confused. I know he's very enthusiastic, but I didn't really understand some of that setup.
I took it as if they were trying to play a coordinated song, and Jack Black was just feeling it. So he was just like,
right.
Yeah, let me turn it up and down, and I'm just gonna go on a solo. And I took it more as it wasn't a technical error. It was just him feeling it in the moment, and they were like, what are you doing? And they just couldn't take him.
Yeah, I mean, definitely he was a little extra, sharing a microphone, 2 inches away from your man friend. I don't know, not the time, maybe wait for the final song. It felt like it wasn't the final song, so yeah. Okay. And then we meet Sarah Silverman and Mike White immediately after that. And they are just, what a couple. I'd like to know their, how they met. I would be very interested in that story because I'm confused about
I'm confused. I think she bullied him into being together. That's the vibe I got.
Mm-hmm.
She was very verbally abusive.
Oh my God. She's yelling at him. She's like, you're gonna let him walk all over you? And then she keeps walking all over him.
Well, and then Jack Black's like, come on, man. I've been mooching off you for years. Just when she gets here, it's a problem. I'm like, that's the funniest line ever.
The best is when he was like, come on, man, come on. He's just being so aggressive. It's so funny.
I do have this line, though, because then he immediately gets kicked out of the band for the hot male model. But his exit scene, he does the most epic exit scene ever.
Oh, no. Epic? Are you crazy? He did the most insulting to Katie scene ever. Because don't you ever do that in front of me. I don't care your reasoning.
What is it?
He kicks a cymbal!
He high kicks a cymbal.
I don't care. Because that cymbal fell to the ground and went ouchie. What did the cymbal ever do to you? You're not mad at the cymbal. Don't take it out on the cymbal. The cymbal didn't do anything.
I'm sorry, Kate. I'm doing that.
No!
That is so badass. That was awesome.
Oh my god.
I just wondered why you never did it, but now I know that you feel pain for the symbol, I guess. Is that how that...
What did the symbol ever do to you? So be nice. You be nice to it. I also... So you thought it was like... Okay, just so I'm clear on your perspective. You think they kicked him out because of how he looked? Or...
No, it was a combination. They were really annoyed by his personality.
That's what I felt like it
was.
But
they also didn't like his look.
I didn't get the look part, but...
I don't know.
You think you just because they replaced him with like a different guy?
They replaced him with a very, very hot male model that only had his shirt off the whole time he was playing.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. That's like a lot of rock stars. So I didn't make that connection personally, I guess.
Yeah, but he said at the Battle of the Bands when they win, he went off and off about like the superficial win and like they didn't deserve it and we rocked it. We should have won.
Yeah, I felt like he would have said that to anyone though. I didn't think it was...
Oh, I took it just because the guy literally had like a 12-pack and just stood there without a shirt on. But I think he was really, really annoying. I mean, that was a part of it too.
Yeah.
And they couldn't like deal with him.
Yeah, because like even just, I don't know, the other parts in the movie, it was kind of like when there was a part where like he caught these random like guys about him where they're like, oh, look at this sign. This guy's such a loser. I don't know. I felt like it was related to his enthusiasm. So I'm just going to keep calling it that because it was not bad in my opinion.
I loved it.
You do you, Jack Black.
I loved it.
So yeah, he gets kicked out. He makes a great line that again, as a middle schooler, quoted many times, read between the lines, man. Read between the lines! Because like technically I'm not doing anything wrong when I do this.
Has 3 fingers up for all those that can't see what's happening.
Read between the lines. Yep, that was a good one.
Well, and when he starts to get this like, screw it, I'm gonna take this phone call and take this job. Did you notice anything when he did Ned's voice?
He was like, hi, Mr. Schneebly.
He reminded me of Bill from Silence of the Lambs, the murderer. I swear I heard that accent and I was like, ooh, gross.
Now that you say that, it kind of... Mr. Schneebly. Maybe he just watched it before he picked up the phone. Also, that phone call. Okay, so here's one of the only things I didn't understand about this whole setup. The phone call, was that like made before school? Because she was like, we have an emergency today, this morning. This teacher like broke her leg or something happened and we need someone right away. So like, was it literally the morning before school? Because that's early. That's really early. And like, he seems like he doesn't wake up early. So I was confused.
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, it's really not that important for the story, but like part of it, like working in a school, I'm like, I just didn't think Jack Black would wake up at that time. So
maybe he was still up from the night before.
Ooh, you could be wrong. That's true. He's on that rock star sleep schedule. Yeah. And then, you know, like you said, when he gets in there, gets to school, he's got the hair slicked back.
Oh my God, his outfit cracked me up.
I don't know why, the scarf was just so funny because it was almost like he was like, this is how I'm professional, is I wear a long, like, hipster scarf. Like, that's what, like, professionals wear. I was like, what is that?
When I lived in New York, in my single days,
yeah,
I met this, like, guy who I thought was, like, pretty cute. And he kind of had, like, a funky outfit. Met him in Brooklyn. This should say a lot.
Oh, well.
Met him in Williamsburg. This should say a lot.
Oh, well.
And when we went out on a date, he had, like, that skinny scarf look, but he was really, like, tall and like, lengthy. And I learned that he was in a glam rock band.
Wait, you've told me about this guy before. Oh, my God. You told me about him before.
And that's what it made me think of, is like that skinny scarf is like, these like rockers are like, you know what's really cool is a skinny scarf around my neck. And you're like, okay, I guess it is. I don't know. And now it's like Harry Styles. You could see that for Harry Styles, right? I thought it was kind of hot. I was like, This is fun, but, we're probably going on one date.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that would be a lot of glitter in your relationship.
So much glitter.
Yeah. Well, and then we also meet Joan Cusack, which I like her in this role.
She pulled it together.
Oh, my God.
Like, she pulled the movie together, because Jack Black needs a balance. Because he's amazing on his own, but you can't have two Jack Blacks. You can't have two energies like that. That's, like, so intense.
Well, and she was also, like, she had to play the very stern, uptight principal. But honestly, in my opinion, she was pretty calm. Like, she never yelled.
Yeah.
She would say things that you were like, okay, like, it's not that big a deal, whatever. But, like, I don't know, she was just pretty easy breezy, in my opinion. Because there's a lot of times in the beginning where he's like, he was like, okay, so, like, if there's a kid getting out of line, I'll just give him a smack. And she's like, oh, no, we don't, we don't use corporal punishment. He goes, okay, so, like, verbal abuse? And then she just, like, is calm, and she's like, Mr. Schneebly, you have to, like, be nice to the kids, or, like, something. It's like, this is good. This is good. She had a lot of good lines, too, throughout the movie. There's so many. And then he's like, when's lunch? She's like, they just ate their lunch. Goodbye.
And then as he goes into class, he steals the sandwich from one of the kids.
Oh my God. Amazing. I know. That's the first thing he says. He goes, okay, who's got food in here? And he's like, can I get in trouble? I'm hungry. Oh my God. So
how about
amazing.
when Miranda Cosgrove, aka Summer, who was so good.
She was good.
Talks about their little chart with grades and gold stars. And Jack Black goes, what kind of sick school is this? And rips it to shreds. Oh my God. That's what I want to do with grades. I hate grades.
Yeah.
I get the system, whatever, but like, oh man, I laughed so hard when he just ripped it to shreds, because I thought he would just throw it on the ground. He literally like ripped everything.
Yes.
And then like only later did he start to be like, oh, like Summer likes stars. So all of a sudden he'll like make up fictitious stars. He'd be like, gold star, like 30 minutes into the movie. I was like, this is great. This is great.
And she was like, Mr. S, how will we earn stars? Like, intro to it was so random. You're like, what? Like, are we talking about that? What do you mean? But, Summer just, like, really wanted to learn.
She did.
And not really. She actually just wanted to, like, get good grades, which those are different, so.
Those are different. And then Jack Black goes on his soapbox to talk about how MTV and The Man ruined music.
The Man kidnapped Shamu and put him in a chlorine tank! The kids are just sitting there
ruin
like,
the environment.
It's so funny.
Oh my God.
I think that's. I'm trying to look. I feel like that ends up happening maybe the second day or something. Oh my God! And then the first day he's there, he tells the children he has a hangover and the runs. That's TMI. I mean, whoa.
And then he goes, Students, does anyone know what a hangover is? And they go, are you drunk? And he goes, I was drunk yesterday.
And then Freddie goes, it means you're an alcoholic. And Jack Black just stares at him wide-eyed and he's like, wrong. So good. The lines are they're so
great.
Good. Oh my God.
And it gets quickly into the music piece. It gets quickly into he doesn't know what the heck to do with them. And then he like slowly is like, okay, what are we going to do here? And here's like the music, and then gets the idea, basically.
Because I think that does all start to happen his like second day, because he makes his whole speech about the man and like Miss Mullins, she's the man. And then Miss Mullins walks in on his public breakdown, and she's like, now it's time for music. What the heck? And then that's where he discovers the children are talented. They're talented children.
Okay, these actors really played.
I believe that, because honestly, some of them you were like, yeah, I don't think you were an actor first.
Yeah, no, they were.
Ooh,
No,
yeah.
they were, and their parents, which is just cracks me up, was like kind of nervous for them to be around Jack Black so much because he's like wild and kooky, and they thought he'd be like a bad influence.
He's the best influence. Watch your mouth.
Well, and I'm with you that they're like actors second, because they did just like laugh at him sometimes, and when they would try to be serious, you could tell that they were like, "This is so funny, I can't take take this guy.
Or they would just be like really like flat and you're like, I think you're supposed to have an emotion, but it's cool because you're playing a little instrument, so I'm gonna let it go. Woohoo! Children.
I thought they were great, no?
Some of them were okay. The Zach kid, I was like,
I thought he was just very, like, insecure. But I get what you mean. Well, I was going to say, and then he, like, sells them Harvard. He was like, we're going to do this thing, and then you're all going to get to Harvard.
Oh, my God.
Just like, and we're not going to tell your parents. And I was like, what's happening?
It's amazing. And all the kids are just like, we're in. Done.
Oh.
I'm sorry. That's the most unrealistic part, because every class you're going to have a snitch. I don't know who it would have been in this movie. It probably would have been Summer.
It would have been Summer.
Yeah.
Which you could tell because of her little competitive spirit. She was like, I don't want to be a groupie. I looked them up. I learned about groupies.
Oh my God.
Groupies are whores.
Yeah.
And then then he like made her the manager, and I was like, that's actually a brilliant position for Summer. She's a great manager.
Yeah, and she was a good manager.
She was great.
But he sees the children, he gets all excited, and then he literally like keeps multiple instruments in his van at all times, because you never know when you're going to be a substitute teacher for talented musical children that you then need to kidnap and put in a band.
His van did not seem appropriate to be near schools.
Oh, no.
It was a big, dirty, dingy van, and I was like, I don't like any of this. And then he just pulls out musical instruments, and you're like, I don't know what's happening.
They're in there at all times, like all the time. And somehow he snuck them into school. There's a lot of sneaking in and out of the school. Y'all need a security guard or something because something's happening. And then he teaches Zach Iron Man, like, immediately.
That was awesome, though.
And then Lawrence is the guy who played the piano.
You're fat and you have body odor. I was like, same.
So real. And then the girl, her name was Kitty, plays the bass. What was that thing you were playing? A cello. Okay, well, it's kind of like a cello. It's just you turn it on your side. Cello! You got a bass!
Cello!
Yep. Oh my God, so good.
I'll be honest, though, like, the groupie thing, I was like, we don't need the girls to be groupies. They could have just been backup singers or, like, fans. They didn't need to be groupies.
Well,
if Almost Famous taught us anything, episode 1, they're Band-Aids.
Yeah, I was going to say Penny Lane would not approve. But then he does give them a job where they have to come up with the band name, so...
That was pretty cool.
At least that was something.
Yeah.
And then Freddie is the drummer because, there's only one kid playing percussion in the entire band? There's a lot of instruments and percussion. So who's helping Freddie? Because he can't play them all at once, so I don't understand.
But it's a rock band. Isn't there only one drummer?
No, I meant in the school band.
Oh.
The school concert band is like just cymbals
Freddie.
he's playing.
Just Freddie.
Yeah, and then of course he gets made fun of because that's another music stereotype. Oh, percussionists are stupid.
Really?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I thought percussionists were like the cool people.
Well, I think it's because it's like, a lot of, like, you don't need to read musical notes, you just need to know rhythms.
Wow, who knew the snobbery in the musical world?
Yeah, there's a little bit.
Huh.
Anyway, so then he teaches them a song, and then Dewey literally launches into a guitar solo in front of the kids, and it's really awesome.
It's so
He's like,
awesome.
It's so good.
He'll just whip around and just, I don't know, like, you feel his passion.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you off guard, and you're just like, what the heck is this guy doing? And then all of a sudden, your foot's stomping, your shoulders are shaking, and you're just in the band.
And then, cello, you're in a band with Jack Black. Our new class project, rock bands.
But here's the thing. It was pretty adorable that he kept trying to, like, cater to what they want. So he'd be like, you be a security guard. And then Tamika's like, I don't want to be it. I want to sing. And he's like, okay, cool. Let's sing. Or, you know, the hilarious kid who was doing the fashion designing. And he...
Oh, I think his name was Billy?
Billy? Okay.
I think so.
And he just kept trying to work with him. And then Summer wanted to change her thing. It's like, he had definitely selfish tendencies. Like, it cracked me up when he was like, okay, guy, I think that's my solo. And you're just like, what?
Yeah. It's like, if you're cool with it, I'm just gonna take a solo there. And the kids are like, we're children.
I'm just feeling it. And they're like, you're the teacher, we're scared. But he also adapted to all of like what they wanted, and that was pretty adorable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he was very good at like pumping the kids up.
Yeah, self-confidence.
And like giving positive reinforcement, as the educators say. So like that part where I think it's literally that day, he does all the, okay, this is what everyone's doing, you're all assigned something, and then it's like lunchtime. And the kid Lawrence, when he goes up to him and he's like, Mr. S, I don't think I should be in the band. He's like, what? What do you mean? Like, you're my piano, you have to do it. And then he's like, I'm not cool enough. Nobody ever talks to me. And I was like, and he just like immediately was like, you are cool. And you're in a rock band, so, like, you're cool, and let's do a fun handshake right now. And then that fixed it.
It was a really long handshake.
It was. And then at the end, they do the fist bump, and then Jack Black goes, there's a lot more to that. There's, like, 20 more steps. You know, we'll work on it later. And then he goes, good knuckle crack, by the way. I'm like, you're just finding so good things to say. It's so awesome.
He's so cute.
You're the bee's knees. The bee's knees? Yeah, man, the bee's knees. Oh my gosh. It's just, there's so many.
And then it's like the group of students that he's like, I want you to soundproof this room. This is our secret. And also when the principal comes, we need security cameras that she's coming so we can hide the instruments.
Yep.
Sorry, but that sounds like really fun when you're what? Like, 12? Were they like 11, 12?
I actually thought they were like 10, 11. I thought they were like 4th grade-ish.
Okay. Because that has to be, like, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
You're like, in on a little, like, think about it. You're like 11. You're like, yeah, this sounds awesome.
Being sneaky in the school.
Being sneaky in the school.
We need to talk about the singing auditions, because that was a thing that happened.
Memories all alone.
Summer, that's got a tough range. I mean, I feel like there were other songs. You should have sang like the Little Orphan Annie girl did, because like Sun Will Come Out, Bet Your Bottom Dollar.
That's true.
And then what was the one girl, like Amazing Grace? I was like, honey, wow.
I loved it.
I know.
I loved them. They had energy too.
They did.
The backup singers.
They did. And it really like was awesome when Tamika finally like joined in, and he was like, why didn't you like volunteer? And she doesn't say it, but she was too nervous.
She was too nervous.
Yeah, I liked that they added in that little subplot, like you said, with her and him, and she's like, people are gonna think I'm fat, or they're gonna call me fat, and I don't wanna
laugh at me.
They're gonna laugh at me. And then he like gives her the whole pep talk where he's like, they're not gonna laugh at you, they're gonna think you're awesome because you are awesome. Oh.
What does he say? He talks about, he goes, you have talent, and
Yes.
Everybody wants that.
Yes.
And he goes, I have a weight issue too, but people worship me.
Well, no.
When I'm on stage, I'm sexy.
He goes, you know who else has a weight issue? And she's like, who? He goes, me. It's just so cute because all her responses were like the exact way a little kid her age, I feel like, would answer, where they're like, I don't know, it's not you. And you're like, it's me. And then they're like, what? Or when he's like, oh, you know, I'm kind of chubby or whatever. And her response is, why don't you go on a diet? Like, it's such a kid response because that's what kids are conditioned to say by society.
Don't get me started on dumb diets and the garbage that they are, because Jack Black says the best line. And for all those listening, when someone asks you to go on a diet, you could say, I like to eat. Is that such a crime? And then you leave the room while kicking the cymbal as the exit.
No, I can't support that. You can't do that. No, you also have to add in the line saying, I'm sexy and chubby.
And chubby.
It's so good. Yep.
But I'll tell you, again, his secret sauce was, what is your unique special talent? And all the other stuff that gets in the way of that is in the way. Mm-hmm. So, like, you have this beautiful voice, your self-confidence or the way you look, it's in the way. Does Aretha Franklin let that get in her way? And I just was like, oh, this is like way more serious than people realize how sweet these messages are.
I know. Well, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't know if he's ever worked with children before, but clearly he was like naturally good at it because he would listen to them and he would kind of build them up if they needed to be built up, and he focused on the correct things.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a little extra focus on like be in this rock band so I can win a contest, but then also it was like supporting the children because they're great.
He does apologize though when he gets caught later and admits like, okay, I used you guys, I'm so sorry. And
yeah.
I thought that was nice.
Yeah. Okay, so then they make the band. Summer is like, I'm not gonna be a motherfucker groupie. I'm gonna be the manager. And he's like, done. Then, you know what happens.
Well, they do the prep concert because they have to like audition for Battle of the Bands.
Well, this is before that.
Oh, okay. What happens?
He sings the best song.
Step off! Step off!
No.
Is that one? Oh.
You're not hardcore!
Ooh,
I'm hardcore!
It was a great one.
Someone was like, oh, what are we gonna play or something? And he was like, don't worry, I got a song. And then someone's like, let's hear it. And he's like, what do you mean? And they're like, your song. Let's hear your song. And then he's like, oh, you want me to play it? Right now? Okay. And he's like, okay, fine. I mean, I didn't practice it. I didn't, it's not gonna sound great. It's not done, and he gets like all nervous. And he goes, doing like these vocal warm-ups, and I was like, should we do those before we podcast? Perhaps.
Yes,
okay,
we should.
Good. And then he sings about the legend of the rent was way past due, and you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. And then at the end, nobody claps, and then Summer goes, I liked it, Mr. Shapley.
Oh, Summer. And then he gave her a gold star.
Yes.
At the same time all this is happening, he's starting to get the teachers to be his like friends because he's such this like kooky guy and all these like kids love him. So the teachers are like, well, shoot, I guess he's like doing great. He keeps making up this methodology and he's like,
oh my God.
The line that cracked me up, and he's like, well, you know what they say, those who can't do teach and those who can't teach do PE. They all start laughing. I was like, oh my God, this is great.
That was so real. One of the best lines, I don't know if I even wrote it down, but it's like a cut to him, and it's just him talking to some of the teachers. I feel like it's during the lunchtime. And he's like, and then I went to the audition, and I got beat out by Yo-Yo Ma's cousin, Lil Nepotez. And he's like, anyway, that's just a crazy story. It's just such a random line, but I feel like I quote that randomly all the time.
You do?
Yo-Yo Ma's cousin, Lil Nepotez. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Can you just like bring that up during like one like family dinner for no reason?
And in the audition, got beat out.
Do you know how many questions Mom would ask you? I would be dead. I'd be on the floor dead.
Mom would ask a lot of questions. Dad would sit there and make like a really bug-eyed face. Jimmy would like tell me I was lying or something, and all the dogs would be barking at once. Yep.
Mary would be on her phone.
Yeah.
Googling what you're saying.
Oh my God, it's so real. It's so real.
It's way too real, but...
All right, well, Bridge, the song that you brought up, though, does come up shortly after Step Off.
Oh, yeah. Step off! Step off! Step off! Step off! And then I love too, that he's like, he really was like educating them on like rock music.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of fun watching rock music.
Yeah. I mean, and even like Almost Famous kind of did like something similar where it's kind of just talking about like, this is a lifestyle.
Yes.
And it was a different decade in that movie, but just kind of talking all about it. And the whole reason he starts to educate the kids about all that is not only because he's like, oh, you guys listen to crappy music, but also because he sees the one kid, Zach, his dad, like, I mean, being rude, but not like being as horrible as he could have been, in my opinion, where he's like, you have to do your homework, Zach. No more guitar playing.
I thought he was mean.
I mean, he was rude, but I guess I've seen worse, unfortunately. So I was like, okay.
Yikes.
But that's why he brings it up, because he's like, guys, rock and roll, it's not just music. It's a lifestyle. It's an attitude. It's a mindset. It's you get off my back and I'm going to do what I want to do and like all this stuff. And that's kind of why it starts to turn into it literally is a montage of like music history, which is so fun to watch, by the way.
fun.
Oh my God, I love that. And that song, I don't know what song that is. I could probably look it up, but I'm like, this is a fun one. I know it's a rock song, but I'm like, ba, 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 ba. It's good. It's a good one.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. And then, okay, are we at the audition yet for the rock band where they have to pretend their kid's dying of cancer and this is their last wish?
We're basically there. I just want to also point out the very iconic line, "You're tacky and I hate you," which is what Billy says to Jack Black. Well, actually, he goes, this is the chain of events. Jack Black goes like, all right, who do you hate? Like, he asks the kids who they hate or whatever, and then they're listing out people. And then Billy raises his hand. He goes, yes, Billy. He goes, you. And then he's like, Billy, we already made fun of me. Like, we're not about me. And then he goes, you're tacky and I hate you. And then he goes, I'll see you after class. So good. All right, sorry. Just had to include Billy.
Billy was great.
He was great.
Billy was also not appreciated because I felt like his style was pretty awesome, like with their school outfits at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I wish we saw more of him, like, coming up with that idea. He kind of, like, didn't get the attention, I think, that he needed.
There was a lot of, because it just was very, like, the story moved pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I felt like there wasn't a lot of time to kind of get to know each kid as well individually. You would just see them, like, in a group interaction, and you're like, oh, that's that personality. And then there's the kid who does the lights. I don't know his name, but he does the lights. So he's smart and has a computer, and that's his personality, so.
True.
And, yeah, so then the children sneak out of school to go to an audition.
In that creepy van. Can you imagine a substitute teacher putting a bunch of kids in that creepy van and leaving school? Yikes.
Yeah, there'd be police
Woof.
officers. Yeah. I mean, for $15,000 a year to go to this school, and the children, they just leave.
Kookadooks.
Where does the money go? I ask you. Where does it go? Because it ain't going to security cameras.
No, it's not.
So they go to the audition. Random band men are insulting children.
Yes, weird.
It's rude.
Jack Black goes on a diatribe when Freddie goes off and hangs out, and he becomes an actual adult at that moment and yells about, rock isn't about getting loaded and being a jerk. If you scare me again, so help me, Freddie. I was like, Jack Black acts like an adult for a minute.
And he yelled at the other adults. He's like, he's just a kid, man. What are you doing? They're like, we're just playing cards. He's like, get out of here, you posers. He calls them a bunch of posers. It's so great. Yeah, but somehow within, that was like a 2-minute detour. They're like, auditions are over. I'm like, guys, how did we miss that? What? I don't understand.
But Summer saves the day.
She does. She has to give Jack Black a little pep talk.
She does.
Just be like, listen, rock isn't about giving up when the audition is over. It's about pretending we all have a terminal illness.
That was actually pretty funny how they acted that way. They're all I laughed pretty hard at that. I thought that was great.
And he was like, I volunteer at St. Margarita's. And then he was like, the guy's like, oh my God, like, what's wrong with them? And he goes, it's a rare blood disease called stigmatomanosis. So good.
It's so good. It's so good. And when he gets back, this is when it starts getting shaky. Then it starts like, she comes in and she's like, I'm going to watch one of your classes.
Oh my God.
He with
the guitar. Did you think of Mom? Were you like, this is what our mom does every day when she teaches the children, just playing a guitar and making up songs. Yep.
And then basically Jack Black's like, heard one story about how Joan Cusack got drunk and played Stevie Nicks. So he goes on this like mission to get an approved field trip and takes her out to a bar by playing Stevie Nicks. And okay, I read about this and I'm really happy they didn't do it. There was a scene that they were going to add in there of the two of them like kissing.
Ew, no.
And they like nixed it because it was like it should just be all about like the band and the show.
Yeah.
But I did feel like when they were done drinking, it was like morning but night, and I was confused like how long are you at this bar? Because you got like kind of drunk and tipsy, and then she admitted she was a hardcore, which cracked me up so hard. But I was confused.
I'm a big one.
So good. Oh my God. But I thought that that was weird. I was like, guys, just because he shows you attention, she's gonna fall over Jack Black. Get out of here. Come
I'm
on.
glad they didn't follow through with that.
Yeah, right?
I didn't get the sense he was, like, hitting on her. I got the sense that he just, like, wanted to...
He wanted a school trip.
Yeah, like, he was... And he was just nice in general to most of the people, unless they were jerks first, you know?
Yes.
Then he wasn't so nice.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting scene. He also, like, to set that up, he's like, yeah, you want to go for coffee? And she's like, with me? And he's like, yes. And then the next scene is they're drinking beer.
I was so confused.
And I was like, that's the best coffee date.
For real.
Let's be honest. That was sad, though. She was like, everybody hates me, you know? I didn't used to be like this. I'm like, oh.
I mean, he pretty much was like the self-confidence fairy to everybody.
Yeah, he really was. He really, really was. Oh my god, I'd love to see Jack Black as a fairy. I'm picturing it now.
Like Moulin Rouge style, he just comes in and he's like, doo-doo-doo.
Or like Tinkerbell, like a tiny Jack Black with wings, I think would be the best.
Oh my god, we have to make that movie. It's
so
like,
good.
anytime anyone has confidence issues, Jack Black comes in and he's like, yeah, the rent was way gone.
Yeah! And he's like, you're the bee's knees, man. Oh my god, I love it. That needs to be its own movie. I would watch that. They made The Rock into the Tooth Fairy. You can make Jack Black into a self-confidence fairy, okay? I'm just saying, we're all ready for
100%. That is the superhero movie we all need.
Oh my god, it'd be so good. So good.
So, let's see. So then Ned, all of a sudden a check comes in and it goes to Ned and he's like, wait, why do I have a check from this school? That must be wrong. And then Jack Black kind of has to admit it, and then that sets Sarah Silverman off.
Oh my god,
she's a white woman who's has a turtleneck and she's mad. She's a Karen.
Yo, she was 100% a Karen in this movie. It's so real. And that's the same night as the parent-teacher conference night. And Jack Black was like, when she announces that, it's some scene where it's like, I guess a staff room maybe, and there's all these people in there, and Jack Black's at the coffee station. And so she's like, so as you all know, tonight is parent night, and we all have to be there. And then he literally immediately spills all this coffee, and he's like, ah! Ah! He starts like screaming in the background, and everybody just looks at him, and she just keeps talking, and then he's like, oh, I wasn't gonna go to that. And she's like, you have to go. You're the teacher. Oh my god.
But like, I thought he would prepare
a song?
something. Yeah, or something. And he literally was just like, hey, your kids are great. Bye. I was like, dude, you soundproof this room, put security cameras, have a whole elaborate scheme, but you can't do one fakey presentation for teachers? Come on.
Like,
come on. But they had to catch him because you had to get this, like, you had to have like a low point, right? You had to have this, he's a fraud, and which was actually like really, really funny because they like lost it on Joan Cusack and she didn't know what to do.
Oh my god. She just goes and cries in the corner. It's so funny. And then, the children just sneak out because children, they can all just sneak out and it's just fine. Although, even though I just saw this in my notes, in the parent night, he does tell all the parents, he's like, I am so proud of all your kids. He goes, I'm proud to just even know them. I'm like, that's such a sweet line. Aww. And then the police come, so that sucked. And then he ran away from the cops. Did you see that?
And by the way, again, in this Jack Black fairy movie we're creating, he never runs. He does this like everything he does has this Jack Black-ism to it.
Yeah.
And even his running is like, I don't know, he like leaps with his leg. I'm not describing it well, but it made me laugh. I'm like, he's running for the cops. It's a bad moment, and I'm laughing at Jack Black running.
But like, they know where you live, Jack Black. You're okay. That's fine. He doesn't get arrested. It's just fine.
Oh, well, that's its own movie magic right there. Because get out of here.
Right.
But somehow the kids break into his apartment.
Somehow the children organize a bus driver, and they organize to make the bus driver leave the school without an adult, and then somehow they break into an apartment, and it's all somehow. So we did
Bob
it.
Stuff. This is the Bob. Bob got hired for the last couple scenes.
Yep.
And they were like, oh, Bob can handle this. And then Bob did Bob.
Basically.
They didn't know about Bob doing Bobs.
And And then I think it's like Freddie and Lawrence, maybe? I don't know how those two got paired up, but they're the ones like in the apartment and they have to like give Dewey a pep talk. They're like, now it's our turn to be the fairy. And Dewey's like, I'm a loser, you know, don't end up like me. And then Freddie's like, one great rock show could change the world, man. And I was like, that's an Almost Famous line if I ever heard one. Chill out there, Russell. Oh, boy.
And then when he goes and he's like on the bus, which I love, he apologized.
Yeah.
Summer's like, we don't got time for this. Let's go.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ooh.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ooh.
Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Time for that. Ooh. Okay. Now we have to talk about how awesome their performance was.
Oh, it's so good.
I loved it.
Oh, it's so good. I was a little confused why there is a large Battle of the Bands concert in the middle of a weekday.
Yeah, that was weird. Middle of a school day.
Seemed a little like not the best timing. I don't know.
Everybody was there, so nobody had work. They all got off work that day. This is another Bob plan.
Yes. Also, there's the line the principal makes when she finds out all the kids are missing. She walks in calmly to all the parents and she goes, I've just been informed all your children are missing. And she says it like that with like her hands up and smiling. Oh my God. Oh, so funny. I don't know. How did they find out where the kids were? Did they just assume they went to the concert?
I think somehow Ned got involved and Sarah Silverman and they all knew. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay. And then they get there and for some reason they didn't decide like what music they were going to play ahead of time. And so literally backstage as everyone's panicking, they're like, we should play Zach's song that he wrote. And I'm like, guys, what are we practicing? I'm confused. Like, why didn't you? Okay. Okay.
They nailed it though.
And then the one light kid was like, excuse me, I do not have time to prepare my computer.
I love him. He is all type A people like, hold up.
That was like with Billy where he was like, Billy, how's beautification? And Billy goes, are you kidding? So good.
How about their cutesy Sharpie tattoos on their hands? Did you see that?
Oh my God, so real.
Like, oh, it's so cute.
Do you remember, I think I was maybe a freshman in high school, or maybe it was 8th grade, but I had a like red carpet party. Do you remember this in the basement?
I definitely remember. You did all that crazy
Mom
stuff.
literally bought a red carpet and then we like hung up streamers. And I remember being like, I want bottles of root beer because they're gonna look like bottles of beer. I'm 13. Do it for my birthday. Anyway, but the whole party was like, oh, come dressed as like a celebrity or like a famous person. And I dressed up as a rocker and I did that. I Sharpied probably my hand and I think I did like my bicep or like a heart with like an arrow through it or something stupid.
We gotta find the picture and we gotta bring that back up.
There are definitely pictures.
Find that picture.
Okay. And Katie dressed up as Beyonce and it was iconic and she wore a fur vest. I'm like, what the heck is happening? This is amazing. Yep, that was real. That was real. So anyway, I appreciate the Sharpie tattoos.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so their outfits
were great.
Yeah. Some were, some I was like,
really? I thought they were great.
I don't know. Like backup singers, I was like, I don't know what we're going for here. Because y'all just kind of look like you got in like a fight.
Hot Topic.
I guess like they just looked a little disheveled. Freddie, the drummer, literally looked like the guy from Sum 41.
Yeah, he had long spiky hair that I was like, I'm so confused how much gel you had to put in to get this look.
This was my note when I saw him. I go, oh my God, Freddie, the drummer, is storming through the party like his name was El Nino. Because he was from Sum 41. So that's
Thank
the
you,
joke.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. But their performance was pretty awesome. Like, people should just go YouTube that scene and watch it and then enjoy it.
It's very fun because you didn't really get to see it all put together any other time in the movie. So, because you kind of saw like, oh, okay, like I see the little rock band and then like it's like a little snippet, but you didn't really get to see the full effect of an entire song and even like the stage presence. Like they all kind of had that now at this point. And I love how Tamika had a solo solo because I was like, Tamika should be the main singer of this band. Thank you. Goodbye. She was awesome.
She was awesome. And honestly, like having the giant crowd there was pretty awesome because if a bunch of kids came up on stage and you're at some like incredible concert hall that's like dirty, dingy, and they're like ready for rock music, you know, the whole crowd would be like, yeah, like they would be so into it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And then the parents all got in and the parents all got to see their kids like being rock stars.
I love it.
Oh
I loved it. I always eat that stuff up. Yeah, it was perfect. And then the best ending ever is he starts a school of rock. Literally.
The literal school of rock. Oh, and also they get to do an encore even though they end up losing.
But like, it wasn't about winning, right? It's not about the gold stars. Summer.
That's what the children say. Yes, that's true. And then he's like, everybody on stage! And then there's like the kids who were never on stage before just like awkwardly like bopping by themselves. I'm like, this is great. This is a great time. I love it. Oh, and the principal gets hit on by, as Bridget calls him, the male model in the band who did not wear his shirt.
Didn't he have this like weird like shoulder dress?
I don't know what it was. It was
had like a little bib, but I don't know what was happening.
It was like only sleeves. Like it was just long sleeves, but there wasn't bottoms.
And she was not interested, and I was like, but you should be.
Well, he's like, oh yeah, you're right. He's like mumbling, and he's like, oh, you're so hot. And she goes, what? I'm sorry. Are you warm? So good. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, and then they do the School of Rock, and then Ned is teaching little children guitar, which again is our mother because she started a guitar club at a school she worked at with little children. And Jack Black was just himself, and then we got to see all the kids rocking out again. It was great.
Did you watch all the way to the end?
Like the end of the credits?
When he was like, and now the credits are coming.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He's like, people are getting up from their seats. I thought that was so fun. I loved it. It was
so fun. Moving over, but we're still here.
Because it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. I'm ready. I'm ready for like a big famous rock trend. I'm ready for that. Like, I'm sorry, 2022, some young rock band just takes over and they're the hottest thing since sliced bread.
Like 10-year-olds in a rock band with Jack Black?
Absolutely.
Ready.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I'm ready.
I love it. That's it. There's things like the movie did blockbuster-wise. It made so much money. The director was the director that did Dazed and Confused. So he added like a cool spin.
Oh, I love Dazed and Confused so much. Oh my God.
Added a cool spin to it. I mean, holds up. The movie holds up.
Yes, agreed. I think it holds up. It's got such good lines. It's very Napoleon Dynamite-esque where like...
Yes.
You're gonna find a line you like and you can quote it.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's just me.
No, you're gonna quote it.
I don't think it's just me. I think...
It's not just you. And Jack Black is 1,000 million quadrillion quadrillion % underrated.
Yes.
And I blame it on society's garbage, Hollywood's garbage, and the way he like looks and acts and people can't handle it. And he's magic. Don't touch him.
Also, during quarantine, he's been making, like, just videos at his house of just, like, I don't know. He, like, is basically half naked in all of them, but they're really funny. And the most recent one, I think I tried to send it to you. He dressed up as the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk. So he painted his whole body green.
I need to
and
watch
then he,
this
like,
right
is
now.
wearing a little, like, Speedo. And then he has, like, the Hulk hands. And it's just him punching things and, like, screaming. And it is so amazing. And I was like, this is just topical for this week, so I gotta send this to Bridget.
The title of this is Jack Black as the Hulk to start your week off right.
Yeah, so awesome. So yeah, go watch School of Rock and and you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore.
Let's rock, let's rock, let's
Let's
rock.
rock today. Well, Bridge, it's been a long road, but Musical March is over. I'm not sure how you feel about that.
I was
Just
okay.
making a face.
I know we're in a podcast and I should talk, but I wanted to make the Jack Black eyebrows where he can make them dance.
Oh,
and I was trying so hard to do it, but I clearly had a moment, and then I couldn't do both, and I didn't even do it. That was a long, stupid story. It was a fun month.
It was a fun month.
I could use a change up. I'm ready for something a little more different. I like to be more surprised. That's what I think I missed the surprise.
Yes. Well, I think I have a nice surprise for you. It's definitely a change up from all the different musical movies we've done. And I hope you like this one because I really like this one. This is a really good movie. It's very highly rated and it's from 2006.
Oh,
so,
this is a little later.
Yeah, a little later. I mean, still, over 10 plus years. So this is what I would consider an indie movie, although now that I'm looking at it, I don't know if that's really correct, but I think it was I think of Sundance when I think of this movie. It is a comedy drama.
Oh.
It's got a great cast, and I can't tell you anything about the plot because you're going to know it immediately, but it does also have a kid in it. We've got another little kid.
I want to guess it. I don't know why I think I know it.
Okay.
Is it Little Miss Sunshine?
Yeah! Yes!
This is an incredible movie.
Oh, it's so good. Yes.
Oh, more body positivity. Amen.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even make that connection. That's so true. There definitely is.
Oh my God, the grandpa doing cocaine.
Yeah, and then
the van they got to start up by running.
Oh my God, there's so many things. Toni Collette, she's a queen. Greg Kinnear, Alan Arkin is the grandpa. He's so fun. And Steve Carell. I always forget. I don't know why. I forget he's in this movie. I always
forget about Steve Carell, who is a really different character than he typically plays in this one.
That's what I mean. He was so serious. His character was a very serious. He tried to kill himself, I think.
Yeah, that's why he ended up with them.
Yeah.
Oh
my God, so good.
I love this movie. I haven't seen it in so long, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Go to the little children pageant show. It's horrific and full of nightmares, but I'm ready. Ready for it. And Bridge, I just gotta say, if you impersonated a substitute teacher and you kind of gaslighted children, but also was their self-esteem fairy into doing a rock band, and then you went to a concert to play, I would attend and clap loudly for you. Oh no, you know what I would do? I would catch you as you're crowd surfing. Bam! I do that for you, Bridge.
That's
I love
love. That's love.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. First of all, I do lots of things. I wouldn't kick you out of the band.
Thank you.
I wouldn't allow you to dress like Sarah Silverman.
No.
I would definitely support you taking whatever job you want as another identity. I think I'm just going to go double down on supporting you. And if Stevie Nicks comes on and the principal's dancing, I will be her backup singer.
Yep.
Just like when we go, it's a song that you're singing, baby. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it.
I love it. I love you.
Don't let Yo-Yo Ma's cousin, Lil Tiz, beat you out of your dreams and your audition. So
let's rock. Let's rock. Let's rock
today.
Today.
All the time. We rock all the time on this podcast. And listeners, if you also like to rock and you also like to stick it to Daman, Osis, and and you love Jack Black, you should write us a review. We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can leave us feedback on our website, sisterswhoseenit.com. You can request a movie if you have a movie you would like us to do. We actually do have a lineup of requests right now. We're going to get through our next one, and then we may start to revisit some from that list. And our email is also a way you can contact us. So we are sisterswhoseenit@gmail.com. You can shoot us an email, give us feedback, tell us how much you love us. If you don't love us, then you probably need to take a good hard look in the mirror and envision Jack Black, talking to you, and think about, what would Jack Black say in this moment? Is this a nice thing to say?
Or direct it to me and as the Jack Black fairy, positively tell me what you would like changed.
Yeah, I mean,
Katie won't listen, but maybe I will. Amen.
I like to stick it to Damon.
Step off! Step off!
That's what I say to you when you're negative. Step off! All right, listeners. Well, we'll see y'all next week for Little Miss Sunshine. And there is another song number in this movie, and I can't for the life of me remember what song it is, but it's at the end.
Oh, God, I can't either.
I know, it's gonna, once I hear it, I'm gonna be like, oh my God! But, yeah.
We fade away. Love you all.
Oh, love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.